Hey guys, so I'm gonna be a little bit subdued today because I am ever so slightly hungover, but it's time to make a video, so I'm just gonna battle through. Also, my hair is different. I've coloured it. It's now sort of a purplish reddish. It's more red than purple, but look, isn't it a beautiful colour? Anyway, I want to stop talking about my hair now and go on to the point of this video, which is NaNoWriMo, or as some people say, NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, which starts tomorrow. It starts Monday the 1st of July. Yes, technically it is Camp NaNoWriMo. There are 3 instances of NaNoWriMo in the year. The official NaNoWriMo is November, but as a student, I really struggle with that one because that's when the work really starts to get a bit on top of you. And that's also the one where you have a 50,000 word goal and you've got all this work suddenly coming in, and I've tried it and I got to 40,000 words and then suddenly work, and I was like, okay, so my NaNoWriMo's not going to get done. It's still sitting there on my computer unfinished. What is with this kink in my hair? That's really irritating. Anyway, there are also 2 instances of Camp NaNoWriMo, which is where you set your own word goal, and you can write whatever you want. You don't even have to write a novel, you can write a script or something, which is mainly because they got rid of the April script frenzy, which was basically NaNoWriMo for scripts. So you wrote a 100-page script, and I did that once, and I wrote a Skillet jukebox musical, which I'm quite proud of, which I eventually intend to edit, because I was probably about 15 when I wrote that, maybe 14, so it was a bit sort of, it could be better, it needs work, and then I'll be like reaching out to Skillet like, can I have the rights? And all that sort of thing. But yeah, so there's now April Camp NaNoWriMo and July Camp NaNoWriMo. Camp NaNoWriMo in April is really kind of hard, because especially for people doing GCSE or over, because that's when your exams start to just you're just drowning in exams, and in university you're just drowned with assessments, and even though most of April is spent as an Easter holiday, was this year anyway, you still got this mountain of work to do. I mean, I had like 3 essays or something to write, and all these information sheets to do, so I just had no time, and I wouldn't have been able to do it. Whereas July is when most people have finished exams, most people, it's now summer, and you need something to do. So, write! Yay! I have a surprising amount of energy for being hungover. Maybe it's talking about writing. I like writing, it's fun. So, the April one obviously replaces Script Frenzy, and you can choose your word count. I usually go for about 25,000. I mean, I wrote 30,000 last Camp NaNoWriMo, but I set my goal at 25,000 just because it's an easier goal to reach, and you only have to write like 800 words a day, and that's easier. So you can have good days where, I mean, the other day I wrote 5,000 words on this one story, whereas the next day I probably wrote about 1,000. And you have these good days and bad days, and if you've got a good day, you can save that up for when you have a bad day or you're busy. So having a low word goal for a day is pretty helpful. Now I came across a bit of a dilemma yesterday, Friday, I don't know, at some point. I came across this dilemma because I've started writing a new story, a new fanfiction, for one of my current favourite games that I'm obsessing over completely, and obviously, this is the one that I'd wrote 5,000 words on in a day, and I was like, oh my god. And I know exactly where I want this story to go. I know the basic gist of it. I know exactly what's happening. I know the end. All that sort of thing. And I've also got the story that I did for last year's Camp NaNoWriMo, which I didn't finish because 30,000 words isn't a finished story. If it's a normal length story, a shortish finished novel would probably be about 50,000, which is why they do it as 50,000 for normal NaNoWriMo. The average novel, I'd say, is about 80,000, and then it sort of goes up from there. The bigger the book, the more words. But so this, I have always been intending to continue this as NaNoWriMo again. So write almost a second part. I mean, I've already put it on the website and all that sort of thing, which I will leave a link to in the description if you want to do this, because it's amazing and helpful, and yeah, it's brilliant. I love doing NaNoWriMo. In Camp NaNoWriMo, you do get cabins, so you get put in cabins with people who are like-minded to you, but I don't do that because I'm a loner. So I wanted to write this one that I'd been doing last year, but I've also found this new story that I'm doing really well on and know the ending for, which I don't know the ending for this other one. I struggle with endings. If I don't know where it's going, I struggle to end it. There's several ways I could end it, and it's just, I don't know at the minute. So I've ended up deciding that I'm going to officially write the one that I was going to write in the first place. That is going to be my NaNoWriMo. But on the side, I'm going to keep going with this other one. So once I've written my 800 words for the day, I can go on to this other one and just do that for fun, because I intend to start uploading it, and then that gives me a sort of a reason to keep going, because if people start reading it, which maybe people read my Sherlock ones, but they don't read my other fan fictions. If people read it, then there'll be a pressure on me to keep going, so that's another thing. I struggle to keep writing if there's no pressure. I mean, there's this one fan fiction that I just sort of, it's a bit of a drabble thing. There's no specific end game in mind. There's no ending. There's no real beginning either. It's just sort of meant to be a comedy, sort of sketchy thing. It's called The TARDIS's Chat Room. You might have seen it. If you read fanfiction, you might have seen it around. It's an odd little thing, but I only write it when I've got ideas, and at the minute I've got no ideas. I haven't had ideas since, like, March, and I feel bad because people seem to enjoy reading it, and I'm just like, I don't have any ideas at the minute, so you're just gonna have to wait until I do. I'm really sorry. So if anybody out there is watching this and knows of my fanfiction, The TARDIS's Chat Room, I'm really sorry to you all, but I just haven't got any ideas at the minute. There's plenty of things that I could bring in, but I just don't know how to. So anyway, yes, as you know, I am writing a lot of fanfictions. I write a lot. I've written a lot of Sherlock and cabin pressure ones, specifically. They're about the main things I stick to. But, and yes, the other one that I wrote last year for NaNoWriMo is a fanfiction. Have you got a problem with that? I hope not. It's actually a Fire Emblem fanfiction, putting two of my favourite characters in modern day and stuff. It will eventually get uploaded onto fanfiction when it's done. I mean, I haven't written it for like a year now, so I'm really hoping that doing NaNoWriMo with it will kickstart it again, you know, because I have no motivation. I have no motivation in my life. I'm surprised I keep doing these videos every week, because I'm running out of ideas. I need ideas, people! Give me ideas! Anyway, I'm sort of slowly dying now. My adrenaline has run out, and I feel like I'm going to fall asleep any second and collapse on the camera. So, I'm gonna end that there, and I will see you next week. Bye.